on education, leading energy and infrastructure conglomerate Sahara Group has announced the establishment of the Sahara School of Innovation and Extraprenuership at the University of Lagos, Akoka, to serve as a platform for promoting invention and solutions that will facilitate sustainable development and global competitiveness in Africa. The company also announced the Sahara Scholar Award, aimed at energizing excellence through awards to university students with outstanding performance in select disciplines. The Sahara Scholar Award will commence from the University of Lagos as a pilot scheme and progressively expand in scope across Africa. Joining us to discuss further is Ejiro, who's the Director of Governance and Sustainability at the Sahara Group. Thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So when we talk about sustainability, climate seems to come up a lot. I think that's the first thing people think of when you say sustainability. Where is education in that conversation when you talk about sustainability?
So, with sustainability, it's quite broad. Climate is just one aspect, a very important aspect, but it's not the only aspect. We must also be as intentional with, apart from preserving the environment, we must also preserve society, systems, people. Now, with education, it's a very key component of the Sustainable Development Goals. And you would find that it's the common thread linking the SDGs. And so in any part of the world at all where there's any serious discourse about driving economic growth, people empowerment, you would find that education and entrepreneurship must form key parts of that conversation.
Okay, and so what led to the picking of University of Lagos, Akoka?
Okay, I think first of all, charity begins at home.
Okay.
The Sahara Group is headquartered in Lagos, and the University of Lagos has been very pivotal to shaping a number of our executive directors who pass through the institution. Now, being entrepreneurs themselves, they're very passionate about raising and positioning other people where they can in order to take hold and design the future in a sense, by sort of anticipating the disruptions that will keep on coming up in different industries and sectors. So it's really important that we start to prepare. It's a form of ambidexterity, like maximizing today, but preparing for the future responsibly. And so that's really what it's about. Okay,
now this is pretty ambitious. I mean, you're talking about artificial intelligence, I think a whole bunch of machine learning, a lot of tech.
Yes.
Can you share how much this project is going to cost, establishing this School of Innovation?
Okay, so starting with the awards, there will be a one-off for 26 beneficiaries. It's in commemoration of Sahara Group's 26th anniversary. And thereafter, on an annual basis, there will be 14 beneficiaries spread across 6 departments and 14 categories. And that will be 1 million naira each. Even with the 26 beneficiaries for this year, it will be 1 million naira each as well.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, we will also be encouraging 3 lecturers per annum. It's going to be called the Sahara MAD grant. MAD being an acronym for making a difference.
Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Yes. So it's high time we started recognizing their contributions in the area and the field of academic research.
Okay.
So, really, at the end of the day, the quality of your students is just as good as the quality of the lecturers that you have in there.
Facts. Exactly. Very true. Very true.
It's important that as we're encouraging the students, we're also encouraging the lecturers and recognizing their effort in this regard. Now, regarding the facility, beyond the cost, we're putting together a team between UNILAG and the Sahara Group to look at the full ramifications of the project end to end, from the cost to the facility, the faculty, the global partnerships that will be required, because we can't do it alone. We need to learn from where other people have recorded the successes and bring that to play in this project.
All right. Extraprenuership, because normally the word is entrepreneurship. Why that name? Why extrapreneurship?
So extrapreneurship is really about partnerships, it's about collaboration. So you want a situation where you have young innovators or startup organizations. They're able to leverage the strengths of more established private sector players and educational institutions, and that's the whole idea. What it does for them is it's a form of risk management in that it provides the needed support. That support can be financial, it can also be non-financial in the form of mentorship. But what it does is it creates a greater chance of the new venture succeeding. And so that's what it's something that we have adopted with our Sahara Foundation, our social sustainability aspect, the Sahara Impact Fund. That was the model that was adopted, and it worked. And so we think, okay, we should bring that in here as well and give a greater opportunity, more people the chance to buy into this model.
And what about again, AI, robotics, and so on? What about the faculty that's going to be able to drive
with regard to that, once again, that's where the collaboration comes. I mentioned global partnerships. We must look to institutions in other part of the world that have done, executed similar initiatives and have succeeded at it, and bring that learning. So there's going to be a lot of knowledge exchange and transfer with local and international faculties to bring that to life here in our peculiar environment. And once we're able to get that up and running, the next thing will then be to take that model and customize it to other locations based on their own needs.
This is a great initiative, right? But I mean, this would outclass a whole lot of public schools and so on in the nation. How do you get a level playing field to where the government can make this type of investments to get more of these?
So whilst the government may not be able to do everything, like you said rightly at the beginning, Mr. Obagbena raised a very good point. What are the alumni of these institutions doing?
Right.
It's something similar to what we're doing. Our directors are alumni of the University of Lagos.
Okay.
And they're bringing that to the fore to say, let's give back to this institution that has contributed so significantly to shaping us into who we are today. And so we must also look at that in other institutions. We're not waiting for the government to do everything. They can't do everything. However, what the government can do is start to find ways to incentivize private sector companies that take up such initiatives so that it stirs up more interest.
Yeah.
Even with partnerships such as that, you could take on adopt a university style type of thing, whereby they come in, they look at what are the needs, how can we help, how can we collaborate. Let's not forget that these institutions, these public institutions, they're already like an arm of the public sector already, of the government, exactly. So it's bringing their own knowledge, because we have some of the most brilliant minds in this part of the world. They just need the enabling environment and the right platform to actualize their potential. So bring their knowledge, bring your resources, bring it together, and let's see what we can do.
Great. So again, on Mr. Prince Obagbena's comments there, so he was calling on the alumni to do their part. So you're saying alumni,
government, private sector, they need to work together.
Yeah, to put it all together.
Yes.
I guess you do plan to scale this across the continent?
Absolutely. So the focus now is let's get it right. Let's get the model right with the University of Lagos as the pilot program. Once we're able to do that, I mean, in different locations, it might take on slightly varying styles and formats, because it will be based on needs assessments and the knowledge gaps in those institutions. So it's about, let's get this right, and then we'll see how we customize that model across other places across the continent.
All right, final question for you. What's your outlook for sustainability as far as the goals Africa is trying to get to? Or maybe I should minimize it to Nigeria if Africa is too wise.
Okay. I think they're quite achievable, because at the end of the day, like most other things, it all depends on the policies that you put in place to drive it. However, I think what is most important is we must remember that our sustainability goals and development goals are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
They work hand in hand. And so in terms of the policies that drive sustainability and development, as well as the strategic plans for implementation, they must meet and align at the right intersections, such that one is not seen or deemed to be sacrificed on the altar of another. Gotcha. It's really important that we get that right.
Hey, look, congrats. It's a very ambitious project, and we hope to see this type of thing across, because education is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Ejiro Gray, Director, Governance and Sustainability at the Sahara Group. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.